Hello everybody and welcome back to Hearts of Iron, where last episode Nova Scotia capitulated. So here we are at peace, for at least a little bit. I mean, I believe we are currently fabricating, or not really fabricating, but justifying on Angelina, and yes, that is indeed true. We are going to work on dealing with that, but while that is underway, and I want to check in, is anybody currently guaranteeing them? No. Okay. We'll keep an eye on that, but for the time being, I want to check in on the status of supplies up here. And it's gonna be pretty grim. I think that's pretty obvious. Let's start building a few supply depots just generally up in this area. Of course, this is kind of absurd, but we definitely do want to start getting some supply depots up here. So we can start tossing some in. Here's the thing. We don't really need supply depots up here, right? The question is, do we want to prepare just in case? That is an interesting question. And the answer to that is, I think, to some degree we may as well. To some degree. You know, every time I hear this song, I think it's Winnie the Pooh singing it, and I don't know why, but that's just what I think. You know what? Let's get some supply hubs queued up out over this way, and we can see there's a naval base here, so we should definitely continue to build supply hubs. Like, this is out in a foreign territory. This is a naval base here, so supply hubs should go, like, out here-ish. So something kind of along the lines of this. We have a naval base here and here. So we don't really need anything there per se, but here would be okay. And we can just get some naval bases, or rather not naval bases, but some generic supply hubs out here. The thing about this is we're not really expecting to need these hubs, but having them out here might be useful in the future. So I'm okay with queuing them up, and it also bears noting here, I'm just looking at the border, it bears noting here that we don't really... No, I don't want one here, actually. We'll get rid of that one. We don't really have to build too much out here. That's another thing to note. So like a hub here, a hub here, a hub here, a hub here, and then one like over this way-ish? Yeah, like right here. One like there. 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 And that's basically the entirety of the supply hubs that we need up here. Now, we are going to have to queue up naval bases and get those leveled up, right? That's the thing that we're going to need to do. So we want these to be actually canceled and queued up at the bottom of the list. There we go. So we'll put these at the bottom. That'll be absolutely fine. And we needed some up through here. There isn't anything there, but there is one here. Beautiful. One here, one here. Cool. And then all of these are fine. This is in a foreign territory, so we don't care about that one. There's a naval base that we can build here, and a naval base here, naval base here. Okay, we'll call that good. Now we need to link these together with railways. So we'll get the railways linking in. Cannot build railway. Railway must start on a supply node or other railway. Yes. Apparently we can't build these up here yet. Awkward. So we'll have to come over here and build out from this direction. Okay. I think we're going to tick forward here a little bit, though. We're going to give it 5 days. So until 15 April. So let's tick forward and let these railways convert over. Okay, so something kind of like this. And now we should be able to get that fully upgraded. There we go. And from here, we can connect in like so. And we can start just linking up all of these supply hubs. Right, we have to build it out like this, which is only slightly awkward, but it'll be fine. So we build it in like that. That allows us to connect up here, which then would connect over this direction. There's kind of awkwardness going on up here. I'll just run that up here, and we can toss in a supply hub here, I suppose. Just in case. And then we can connect down over here. I'm not expecting any of this to be hugely important. Is there no connection over here? Hang on. Oh, we're not in... Are we in railway build mode? There we go. Yeah, there's no connection over here. So unfortunately, we can't connect that. But what we can do is see about connecting like this. Okay, that's only mildly awkward, but it'll be fine. So from here, we, of course, need to connect in about like so. Actually, I don't really like that hook out there, but I guess we can make it work like this. There we go. That'll do. And then this connects in like that. Cool. So from here, we can make our way over and make sure that this is connected like that, which would then itself connect over like so, awkwardly, but it works. It's functional. And then we can bring this out. Cool. So this won't actually take all that long to construct, all things considered. And this will be probably too solid of supplies in this area, to be honest. But it's fine. It's fine. So we'll just get this railway hooked up over here. This we can't link up, awkwardly enough, I don't think. Wait, we can? That goes through Louisiana. Do we have the ability to build that railroad? That's strange to me if that's the case. But sure. We'll link it up something like this and something like that. Okay, that's looking good. And then we can connect down here. We can connect that like so. Connecting in over here. Cool. So all of this gets connected up, and it should construct quite quickly, honestly. After we have the supply hubs done anyway. The supply hubs are going to take a while, I think. But just something kind of like this. Getting all of those logistics squared up a bit. And then we can head out over here, and that can connect in like that. And then this would go up like so. And then this isn't converted yet. 3 more days. Let's let that tick forward. 1. Boy, that's ticking very slowly with this open. Okay, noted. 2, and ticking very slowly. 3. Okay. We get that upgraded to a level 5, and then that seems reasonably fine. This would then connect in like so, and then like so. Okay, so that should be that entire area reasonably-ish dealt with. There are a few areas here and there that could probably use more work. But broadly, overall, I think that's good. So we'll get that underway. And our top priority, of course, is getting the supply hubs built. And there's a lot of them. So let's get those on the way up. We are at peace right now, so we're not too concerned. And let's bring that on up like so. And that should get the entirety of the Americas reasonably put together. Beautiful. Now, there's a lot of areas like Africa and Europe and Asia. Primarily those three continents, not so much areas. Those 3 continents are not as developed, shall we say. So that's definitely a potential problem. But we're going to tick on forward here, and yeah, with that closed, it ticks so much faster. These infantry divisions can actually... No, the infantry divisions are going to go into the reserves. Cool. Okay, so Angelina is going to be justified soon. The main question is, do they get guaranteed? By Louisiana, or by Laurentia, or even by somebody out over here. It's theoretically possible. We'll see if it ends up happening. But Angelina should fall pretty easily here, in theory. But we will have to tick forward. Now, let's go ahead and get our operative training going on here. Cool. Okay, so how is this construction faring? Okay, we're building, I think, slightly over half of our supply hubs at once right now. And the first round of those will be done on 4 September. So that sounds good. And we will have good infrastructure up here for fighting Laurentia, for fighting Louisiana. That'll all be very useful. So it'll be good to have that done. we're eventually going to want to do virtually the same thing with Africa, with Europe, with all of our territory, eventually. The question is, when do we get around to doing that? Well, I'm kind of thinking once we have North America taken over, we can take a little bit of time to dig in and really get a bunch of this construction done. I think that's not a terrible idea. We can even set up North America up here for being a silly amount of civilian factories. And in fact, I'm kind of leaning towards doing that and having a bunch of civilian factories in the Americas. And we can have additional military factories outside of the Americas, or we can convert these later. That would work as well. But if we were to do this, that would accelerate us pretty dramatically in terms of our construction, which I think would be a good thing to do, especially with us being functionally at peace right now for at least a little while. So let's get started on some construction here. Just getting maximum civilian factories. Cool. Of course, we don't control all of these states. And that's fine. We'll get there. So civilian factories go in everywhere out over this direction. That's all foreign territory up here. We can grab Montana, though. That looks good. Arizona, a little bit of California. The Baja, there we go. Okay, so that's all of our civilian factories here. Now, every civilian factory that finishes is going to accelerate construction of further civilian factories, right? So that'll be fine. We just finished justifying on Angelina. And nobody is guaranteeing them right now. So we declare war on Angelina. We are going to immediately issue an offensive line of here. I'm not even convinced that they have troops. Louisiana has troops. I'm not sure that Angelina does. So this might be just a mega easy campaign, as in not really even a campaign at all. Yeah, I don't think they have troops. So let's get that done. Laurentia would be another good one to take. No doubt about that. That way we can get the entirety of North America under control fairly easily. But no, it looks like Angelina has no standing army, and so there'll just be no resistance whatsoever here. That's okay. Absolutely fine there. What are these guys doing? Why are you not advancing? Attrition? I suppose we don't really... Oh, I missed Montana over here for supply hubs. You know what? Let's get a few of those queued up. And we'll even keep them high priority for now. Cool. But for the time being... Oh, they capitulated. Sure. So we'll just select all, submit our demands, and there we go. Cool. So with that under control, now we can make sure that all of this is good to go. So, first things first. Well, infrastructure isn't exactly the first thing here. We'll move that down for now. Okay. I want to make sure that we have supplies in these areas. So we're going to put some supply hubs up over this direction. There'll be a decent number of them. Kind of like this. There we go. That's maybe a little overkill, but it's better to be overkill than underkill, in my opinion, so it's all good there. We'll get all of this linked up. Like so. Cool. We can get a railway coming in here, and going up here, and coming in here, and coming down here. Kind of ridiculous numbers of railways, but that allows us to move things around easily, if need be. So something kind of like that. Then up in Montana, we would do a similar sort of thing, where we've got hubs about like this. Now this is a foreign territory here, but this should be sufficient. So we'll just bring this on in like so, and note that we are not working on civilian factories at this exact moment. And that is actually something that I do want to change. So I'll just link all of that together, and we'll drop, or rather, we'll bring these hubs up to the top. Something along the lines of this. But now we're going to go down and get all of these civilian factories brought to the top. I wish there was a one-button solution to just move all constructions of one type to the top of the list or the bottom of the list. That would be absolutely nice. Actually, there's all of these hubs here still. I feel like these should be brought to the top of the list first, and then the factories. So something more along the lines of this. Cool. Now, this list is very long, and the list is also very laggy. There's no doubt about that. We have a lot of work to do, and we should probably chill for a little while and let this happen. Because if we were to fight Louisiana at this point, sure, we would win, but the supplies would be grim. The supplies would not go well, and that would slow things down pretty dramatically. So I think that we should just do this. Cool. And eventually we're going to want to bring these up. We can actually do that now-ish while it's ticking, and it's going to be slow while it's ticking, no doubt about that. This list is extreme. Okay, you know what? Okay, we'll tackle that later, I think. So we need to grab these guys here. I want to delete all of their orders, which unfortunately that doesn't delete their orders, but we can do this number here. There we go. And now we can set up our army group on this southern border, like that. Now, this does mean that we would likely want another army group on this top border, this northern border. And then we'd have a little bit of areas like Michigan over here. We'd have the Upper Peninsula and then this area up here in general. It's just a very awkward border, right? Very awkward indeed. But let's just cruise through these constructions for the moment, and we're going to get a lot more factories online. So that should be fine. We're going to get a lot of civilian factories going here, which will massively increase our construction speed. Oh, we're not ticking forward right now. Okay, 27 July, we're going to get a round of these, and that'll be great. Okay, so that was a round of factories there, and we're now at 409. No, wait, 323. That makes more sense. I was like, hang on, we were at 320 before. But no, this makes more sense. I was looking at the total number of factories, not just the civilian factories that are being used for construction. That was not an apples to apples comparison, is my point. So we'll get set up here, and apparently there's resistance to occupation. That's fine. I do want to work on developing all of this. What do we need to expand the iron ore mines in Quebec? Oh, we need more infrastructure in Quebec. Sure, that makes sense. That definitely does make sense. So we've gotten 5 more civilian factories built, and there's going to be a lot more. So that is great. We're just watching this number up here. We're up to 801 total factories. 326 civilian factories. Opening the construction menu does cause a lot of lag, because look at how fast we're ticking forward here. It's about a day every 2 seconds. And then we open the construction menu, and now it's about 2 hours per second. Okay, like 3 hours per second. It's a lot slower. No doubt about that. So these all go into our reserves. And yeah, we've got low supplies in our reserves. Very low supplies in some cases. This isn't shocking. This isn't shocking at all. We will go through and fix that out here eventually, but that's going to require a lot of construction time. So getting all of these civilian factories up to date, that'll be a pretty big deal. The question is, how long will it actually take to construct all of these? There's a good number of them. There's a good number of them. The Provisional Government of Bolivia? No. Get out of here. Why would you think that we would want that? Okay. So, psychological warfare. Sounds good. We'll get that underway. And we can also continue to develop these. Now, this is also costing civilian factories, so keep in mind, this delays our construction by doing this. We can also repair the Panama Canal. May as well. We'll get that underway. Cool. So we're planning to remain at peace here for a while. The question is for how long? I definitely want to get all of our constructions up here in terms of the supply situation dealt with. We also may want to consider attacking Laurentia. I'm just checking in on this situation up here. Okay. We may want to consider attacking Laurentia instead. So a naval invasion order from, say, here to here. And then another naval invasion would go, say, from here over to here. Like that. And then these guys, instead of being on Louisiana, they would forget about that. And they would go and be on this front line. There is a bit of a problem over here. So, yeah, it forgets about it over here too. We wouldn't army group this then. Okay, so we would get rid of this. I was hoping we could get this all on one army group line, but unfortunately that's not going to be the case. Okay, so we'll get rid of that, and we will put these in as individual armies. So one there, one here, and then this is kind of going to have to stand alone. We would then put one, like, over here, and then one would be in, like, 3 locations, right? So one here, and then one here. Like that. And then these guys, they would also have this front. Okay, so we would select, like, a quarter of these troops and put them here. And then for this, we'd select, like, these guys and put them here. And then select these and put them here. But really, we'd want to, like, switch this. So we'd have these divisions. We don't need 15 divisions here. We'd put 8 of them here. Oops, I did that wrong. 8 of them here. They're not getting assigned to that order. Hang on. There we go. That's how we do it. And then we still don't need 7 divisions here. So we'd assign these 4 over here. Something like this. Okay. So that, in theory, would take care of Laurentia. We would need to set up some naval control. So we would have these guys forget about patrolling in the eastern seaboard. They would come up here to Labrador Sea or Hudson Bay. Like that. These guys would then come up to Hudson Bay. Like that. Cool. So in theory, that should be under control. Now the next question is Armenian Philippines and Armenian Raj. How long would it take to justify on these guys? 60 days? You know what? Let's get started on that. Battle plans with no units assigned. Oh, these guys didn't get assigned here? There we go. They're supposed to be here. That makes more sense. So we'll get that underway. How long will this take to prepare? 84 days? Okay. Noted. So this won't be ready right away. Okay. Regardless, we got a lot of construction done. We're up to 336 constructing civilian factories, and we're going to get a number more of those. And we can continue working on that construction as we fight Laurentia here. And then this isn't going to require all that much additional infrastructure if we build that up to the same level that we have the rest of this. It should be fine. Louisiana on its own is a very long border, though. So we'll have to think about how we want to do that. We'll probably get out of here, Ecuador. They're not ready yet. We'll probably bring in our Marines to man one of these borders, perhaps this one. But realistically, this is an exceptionally long border. We need an army here. I would prefer to have an army here. We'd want an army group here and an army group here, as well as an army up here. It's a lot. That's a whole lot. Way more than we've got on Laurentia. Realistically, we can have, like, if we did an offensive line here, yeah, we have to create an army group front line. So these guys would just, like, front line like that, or offensive line like that. These guys would offensive line basically like that. These guys would offensive line pretty much the rest of this like that. And realistically, that should be Laurentia under control. It is, however, time to put a cut in here, so I'm going to go ahead and do that. And next episode, we just got this justification. Okay. Is anyone currently guaranteeing them? No. So we declare this, but next episode, we're going to take Laurentia. You can leave your offerings to the engagement gods in the form of likes, comments, subscribes, and bell ringings, and a very special thank you to all of the channel members for making this video possible, including Casserole, ALS Gamer, Kentuin, James, Shadowwolf, MLohan80, Spartan News, Nick Smarty, Video Games Are Not Real, Dimitri H, Punching the Microphone, Unisil, Kadra, Rogue Corvid, and all the rest. And of course, you. Thank you for watching. If you'd like to support the channel, you can click the join button down below the video, and as always, I will see you all next time.